Miss Morgan. Welcome to this beginner yoga flow. We're going to create strength and stability throughout this flow. Meet me at a seated position at the end of your mat, and we're going to start activating our yogic breathing. Start to inhale and exhale through your nose. We're going to create a unification of body and mind throughout this practice. Feel your stomach expand every inhale and feel it contract every exhale. Start to deepen your breathing. Create a cadence of breath you want to continue throughout this whole practice. The breath is going to keep you present. We're going to inhale our arms up over our head. Look up at your fingertips. Stretch the body. Feel a long line of energy from your fingertips through your sit bones. And then we're going to take the right hand to the left knee and we're going to gently look over our left shoulder. It's an easy seated twist. Inhale, grow tall through the spine. Exhale, come back through to center. Arms come up. Inhale, breath. Exhale, we're going to take the left arm to our right knee and gently look over our right shoulder. Inhale, create length throughout the spine. Exhale, twist a little bit deeper. Inhale. We're going to come back through to center. Your arms come overhead. Exhale, we're going to grab our left wrist with our right hand and hinge over to the right side. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, grab your right wrist with your left hand and hinge over to the left side. Gentle side body stretch. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, just walk your hands towards the front of the mat. And we're going to do a gentle fold here. Breathe into your hips. Allow the back to round. We're doing gentle movements to waken our body up. Inhale, crawl your hands back to center. And we're going to cross our ankles. And we're going to come into a neutral tabletop position. So you want your knees directly below your hips. You want your wrists directly below your shoulders. Push the ground away. You want a neutral spine here, so don't let your belly drop. Suck your belly in, And then we're going to come into some cat-cows. Inhale, look up, drop your belly. Tailbone towards the sky. Exhale, round your back. Push the ground away. Let your tailbone drop. For cat. Inhale for cow. Slow movements. Bring your head up if that feels good to your neck. Look up. Drop your belly. Inhale, breath. Exhale, push the ground away. Round your back. Drop your tailbone for cat. Inhale for cow. Feel the shoulders stretch. Your collarbone should be widened. Exhale, push the ground away. Cat pose. Inhale, look up for cow. Exhale, push the ground away for cat. We're warming up our spine. Inhale to neutral. We're going to send our right leg back in space. This is the first position. If you feel strong, lift your right leg up. Keep your hips in line. Don't let the right hip pop out. And then lift your left arm up for sunbird. Breathe here. We're creating stability. We're pushing the ground away with our right hand and our left knee. Inhale your left hand back. Bring your right leg back to neutral. Inhale your left leg back in space. Keep it out or lift it up if you're feeling strong. Once you're stable, inhale your right arm up for sunbird. Keep your left hip down and suck that belly into the spine. Inhale back to center. Inhale your left arm up towards the sky. We're going to thread the needle. We're going to bring our left arm underneath our right arm, and we're going to put our left ear to the ground. Your knees are still directly below your hips. You could keep your right hand where it is beside your face, or you could walk it out towards the top of your mat. Breathe into the left shoulder. Make sure your hips are still in line. Continue breathing into your shoulder and into your arm. Make sure your hips are in line. Feel the benefits of this posture. Inhale, bring your right arm close to your face. Exhale, push through your right arm, send your left arm up, and then place it back to neutral. Inhale your right arm up, exhale it, thread the needle. Right arm underneath your left arm, right ear to the ground, right shoulder to the ground. Keep your left hand beside your face or inchworm your left fingertips to the top of the mat. Breathe here. Your hips should be in line. Hips directly over knees. We're breathing into the right shoulder, breathing into the chest. This is a great stretch to do if you sit all day or if you've been driving a lot. Breathe here. Stay present. Inhale, we're going to inchworm our left hand back towards our face. Exhale, push through your left arm. Bring your right arm up. And then bring it back for neutral. We're going to start to curl our toes under, getting ready for plank. On your next exhale breath, push up into plank. So there's always an option to come on your knees. You'll still get the same benefits. If you're feeling strong, exhale to plank. We're going to create strength. This practice is about building up our strength. Breathe here. Press the ground away. Broaden your collarbone. Drop your tailbone. A long line of energy. If you're feeling really strong, come down on your forearms. You want your elbows directly underneath your shoulders. Long line of energy from the crown of your head all the way to your feet, to your heels. One more breath, and then exhale, drop your pelvis down, keeping your shoulders and your arms exactly where they are. Come on the top of your feet. And we're going to come up for Sphinx pose. So in Sphinx pose, you want your elbows directly below your shoulders, wrists directly out from your elbows. Press the ground away, broaden through the collarbone, and drop your shoulders away from your ears. So you want a long neck here. Breathe. Gently press your pelvis into the ground to create length and to protect your lower back. Exhale, we're going to come down. Forehead drops on top of a hand. And just wipe your feet back and forth. Shake your hips out. Release the tension we just created. We're in crocodile. Come back to your breathing. Come back to your intention. Stay present. Frame your chest with your hands, keeping your shoulders directly behind you and elbows tucked in close. Inhale breath, we're going to lift up for Bhujangasana Cobra Pose. Exhale, come back down to the mat. Inhale, squeeze your shoulders, push down into your pelvis, release the shoulders from the ears and lift up. Exhale, back down. Inhale, push through your hands, lift up, Bhujangasana. Breathe here, drop the shoulders. Exhale, back down on the ground. Tuck your toes under. Get ready, we're going to push back into kind of like a tabletop position. And then we're going to come up into our first downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. So go ahead and pedal your legs out. That means press one heel and then the other heel. We're pressing through our pointer finger and our thumb. We're pressing the ground away. We're lengthening up through the whole entire spine. Our neck is soft. We're breathing here. Keep a bend in your knees if you have tight hamstrings. And breathe. Find a comfortable, still position. Inhale, your right leg up to the sky. Look in between your hands, and then we're going to slowly bring our right knee to our nose and then plant our right foot in between our hands. Exhale, soften your left knee down. Make sure you're not directly on top of it. And then inhale, we're going to come into a low lunge. So really pull your thighs together to lift up here. You want your hip points lifting up. You want your right ankle below your right knee. And you want a strong right leg, so don't let your knee come in. Keep it strong and active. Exhale, frame your foot. Look down at your foot. Inhale, lift back up. Always an option to keep your hands down if it's too much for your knees to come up. Exhale, frame your foot again. Lift your back toes up. We're in a runner's lunge here. We're lengthening through our collarbone, keeping our back leg nice and strong. Come up a little bit. Tiptoe your back leg in a little bit. And we're going to come into a pyramid pose here. So you want your back leg at about 11 o'clock, a 45-degree angle. And we're inhaling through our right hamstring. So I'm bringing my right hip back towards the back of the mat as I'm pushing my left hip towards the front of the mat to create a gentle hamstring stretch here. Your back can be rounded. Inhale, step both feet together at the top of your mat, and we're in Uttasana, forward fold. Inhale, put your hands on your shins, flatten your back, halfway lift. Exhale for Uttasana. Just let your hands fall where they fall. You could gently sway back and forth, cupping either elbows, or you could just pedal your legs out. We're opening up our hamstrings. Breathe here. You could have a healthy bend in your knees. Inhale, plant your feet down. Really root through your feet and push up using your legs, coming up, hands above head. Look up at the sky. Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, hands above the head. Exhale, fold through the midline. Nice and slow. Bring your right leg back immediately into that pyramid fold. So our right leg's in a 45-degree angle. You're bringing your left hip back as you're bringing your right hip forward to create that nice left hamstring stretch. You could bend your left knee, that's fine. And you could round your back here. Just make sure you're breathing into your legs and your hamstrings. We're going to walk that right leg back into a runner's lunge. So make sure your left ankle is directly below your left knee here. Press the ground away. Lengthen up through the backside body. Soften down your right knee. Come on the top of your right foot. And we're going to inhale, come up into our low lunge on our left hand side. Your thighs are scissoring together. Lifting your hip points up to the sky. Make sure you're not directly on top of your right knee, and breathe. Think stability, think strength. Your body is supporting you. You're rooted down into the ground. Exhale, we're going to frame our foot with our hands. We're going to come up on the ball of our right foot. We're going to bring our left foot back to meet our right foot. And then we're going to push back into our Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Inhale your left foot up directly for three-legged dog, and then plant it back down. Breathe in this Adho Mukha Svanasana. Look at the top of the mat. And then walk your feet to the top of the mat, taking little baby steps all the way up till you get there. Inhale, halfway lift. Press on your shins. Press your upper body away. And then exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise. Press through your heels, using your legs to lift you. Hands come up above head. Exhale down to heart center. Come back to your breathing here. Come back to your intention. Inhale, look up. Bring your arms overhead. Exhale, fold through the midline. We're going to come into chair pose. So we're going to sit like we're in an imaginary chair. Here, lift your arms up. Tuck your bum under, if it's possible. Make sure you can look down and see your big toes so your knees aren't over your toes. And breathe here. If it hurts your back to lift your arms up, go ahead and just keep them at heart center. Inhale to standing, exhale chair. Breathe. We're strengthening our glutes and our hamstrings. Inhale, hands to heart center, stand up. Exhale, hands come overhead. Sit down for chair pose. Think strength, stability. Your body is supporting you. Inhale, heart center. Stand up. We're going to widen our feet, and then we're going to sit down nice and slow. Try to be graceful. Try to sit all the way down onto your bottom. We're coming into a seated position here. Plant the soles of your feet down on the ground. Put your hands behind you to lengthen up through the back and through the crown of the head, keeping our chest lengthened here. Stay like this or bring your hands behind your thighs, keeping your chest lengthened. Okay, you could come to your tippy toes or you could come up to Navasana, boat pose with me. So my shins are parallel to the mat. My hands could stay beside me or they could come up. And then breathing And then I'm exhaling slow and controlled all the way down to the ground. Inhale, we're going to bring our legs as close as we can to our bums, our heels as close as we can to the bums. Plant the soles of your feet on the ground by lifting up all your toes to make sure they're planted. And we're preparing for bridge pose, Setupasana. Just breathe here for a second. Inhale, we're going to press through the heels of our feet, and we're pressing our hands down beside us, and we're coming up into bridge pose. Exhale, slowly roll down one vertebra at a time. Inhale, come back, lift through the heels, lifting your body up. Your glutes are supporting you. Exhale, slowly come down. Inhale, press through the heels, lift up, roll your shoulders underneath you just a little bit more. Breathe here. We're using the strength we're creating in our hamstrings and our glutes to support our bridge. This is great to do to prevent lower back injuries. Inhale a little bit higher, and then exhale, slowly come down to the ground, one vertebra at a time. Let's go ahead and let our legs drop to the left-hand side. Inhale them back through to center. Exhale them to the right-hand side. Inhale them back to center. Exhale them to the left-hand side. Inhale, center. Exhale to the right. Inhale, center. We're going to bring our right ankle to our left knee into restorative figure 4 position. Flex your right foot and breathe. Gently pull your right knee away with your glute, or use your right hand to push your right knee away. Very gentle here. Option to bring your right hand underneath your right leg and hold your left shin. Breathe. Exhale down, back down to the ground. We're going to bring that whole leg package over to the left-hand side of our mat. Our left hand is gently going to press our right knee away, and then our right hand's going to go overhead. We're in a supine twist here. Breathe. We're breathing into our spine. We're creating space in our lower back. Inhale back through to center. Exhale, bring both knees into your chest and squeeze into a little ball. You can do gentle circles if that feels good for your lower back. Holding your knees, just going in a circular movement. Let's repeat that on the other side now. Bring your left ankle to your right knee. And we're in a restorative figure 4 position. Stay here, or you could gently press your knee away with your left hand. Breathe into your lower body. Breathe into your glute. Breathe into your hip. Stay present. Option to bring your knees in towards your chest. Bring your left arm underneath your left leg and your right hand clasp your right shin, increasing this hip stretch. Exhale, we're going to bring our leg package over to the right hand side. So the left sole of our foot just plants on the ground. We're pressing the ground away. We're pressing our knee away with our right hand. Very gentle. Left hand is overhead. Breathing here. Creating strength, support, stability in our body. Using our breath to unify mind and body, body to mind. Breathe. One more breath. The video gets cut off here, but choose to end your practice here or come into Shavasana. Inhale, bring your knees in, holding your knees, hugging in a tiny little ball. Exhale your way into your final Shavasana. I recommend 5 minutes in Shavasana here. Thank you for joining the practice. I will link other beginner practices in the description below. You can click on the link to go directly to my blog post to read more about this class. Thank you for joining me. Don't forget to subscribe. See you next time.